So Barry Hawkins, of course, back in the top 16 at number 12 after his great run to the UK Championship final. And indeed, great performance in the final. Only lost out 10-8 to Judd Trump. Still a chance to end the year with the title. And Yize is rising up the list of likely ranking event winners, you've got to say. Very dangerous player.
Yeah, vastly improved. But you kind of knew that he was going to improve. He's a didn't go where the players wanted them to early on. Hawkins seemed to come out of it all a lot better. But he's got to keep Wize at bay, and that did seem that he might even come back and win that final against Neil Robertson. Neil Robertson went about 4 frames without really ever coming to the table.
Seven.
And that's a good shot because it's absolutely A1 on this pink, on the blue to go in.
Wize, 12.
Tom Ford, of course, he missed the long blue after Ford had potted it.
I was thinking that. At the time I was
queuing. Well, it's very awkward, it would seem, for that red anyway.
Sorry, the very long bridge on that shot, which made it slightly uncomfortable.
Six. Seven.
He's lost the cue ball somewhat, which means his cutback is not simple, and also he's going to hit reds and he might not have control over the contact he makes on the reds here.
Fourteen. Barry Hawkins, 14.
So they've each been in, but not much on the board yet. Just on Yize, there is, of course, a prize for whoever does the best in the 4 home nations, the Bet Victor European Series bonus. After the Welsh Open, whoever's top of the order of merit from the 4 events will get 150,000, and the 3 people ahead of him are all out of the event. Neil Robertson, Karen Wilson, of course, Judd Trump didn't play in it, so he could certainly close the gap, make that a really interesting race when we get to Llandudno in February.
Very nice. He looked very sharp in the last few weeks, as Barry Hawkins, not only because of what he achieved in the UK as a qualifier. I never really thought that tiredness would play a part in that final, because he finished at 1 o'clock on the morning of the final, I think it was. I think you might have been on commentary, Dave, when he beat Mark Allen.
Barry Hawkins, 1.
I always feel that you'll be tired on the Monday. Sunday, just get up and do it all again. He seemed to cope with it well. Don't think that would be an excuse as to why he lost.
No, if he'd have lost 10-2, maybe you could have said it had played a part. Got his top 16 place back a bit at the Masters. And we've seen from players like Neil Robertson, you know, once you drop out that 16 bracket,
He's more than happy with that little nudge. But getting from yellow to red is not that simple a shot. Especially if it's straight, when it appears to be close to straight. So no real angle to play with here. That is a very good shot with the rest.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Quite difficult to generate the cue power with the rest that you would be able to get with the cue without the rest, normal conventional shots. Well, he's finished in between, really. I mean, I think he wanted to be on the red to the left of the black, which he still is on, but straighter, he's got a much better shot than now, so he kind of got caught between two different shots there.
$17. $18.
Well, it's not been straightforward, but as ever, Hawkins just getting on with the job in hand.
Higgins, because they both play the game as close to textbook as you'll see. You know, they play all the same correct shots all the time. Shot selection is good, safety, potting, everything, break building. But the balls, as I said, were not friendly, so the early frames were a little in and out. You could sense that they were playing well, but the balls did not run in favour of either of them. So it took a while to really get going, but Hawkins was undoubtedly the best player. I think by more than the eventual scoreline.
31.
Yeah, and that's 2 wins over Higgins this season. And again, you know, for someone like Barry, who would have grown up really looking up to the class of '92, the Holy Trinity, as it were, that'll mean a lot. Mean a lot of confidence
32.
just from that.
$37.
That's a better shot than it looks. That's a really tough shot close up in the frame.
Yeah, that was a frame-winning shot, wasn't it? And this is the thing with Barry. Worth seeing this again. He's not a flair player, but what he is, he's a really good player. He doesn't play exhibition snooker because he doesn't need to. He just plays the proper stuff.
44.
And in every area, he's really strong. Snooker's required then. It's not just the Masters, of course, the run to the UK final
51.
gets him in those Players' Series events, certainly the first couple, and good chance for the Tour Championship as well. Here's that shot again.
Yeah.
Perfectly played. Just great control. Come after Christmas to look forward to, and all the big tournaments you want to be in. So the frame is done, regardless of what happens with this red.
Barry Hawkins, 59 on the frame.
A very solid 59, sort of typical Barry Hawkins break that. Very nicely put together, and he leads Wize 1-0. There is actually, for the players outside the top 16, there's some snooker still to be played next week, the German Masters qualifiers. And indeed the World Open qualifying as well is on, so it's not quite done yet for the year. And of course for the top 10 they go to Riyadh for the big money invitation event. That was close.
Yeah, he thought so as well by the looks of that. Yeah, right to middle. He is, as I keep saying, very dangerous. But chances will not be coming all the time against this man. This does not give you a lot. He got him first in the previous frame, didn't make all that many.
8. Nine.
It's noticeable this season he's scoring 20 centuries. He only made 9 last season, so player when he gets to the table.
Yes, he hit the ping, but he wanted to just slide off the reds, hit the cue. It's a brilliant shot. We'll need another good one, though, to pop the red off the bunch onto the black.
22.
View of it briefly, but it was always heading to the top jaw and dropping down very fractionally. Can attack the bunch of reds here. Ah, that's lovely, isn't it? He's got an interesting cue action. I mean, it's gone wrong there. Another 10.
Wize 46.
I guess the shots were.
That's white. It's close to his shirt. long potter, Wize. Yeah, well, there's more evidence just what a great long potter is. Obviously, the safety side of it's there as well.
What?
But he's back in.
Looks respotted. Colin Humphries now having a little look. Does it go in there? No, up for the brown, highest available. And a great chance to close out the frame with the reds in open play. Those four and the brown on the left side. He doesn't need to worry about.
Eight. $16.
I think he's able to compete in all departments, but whether he can... Certainly Wize is a vastly improved player, but I think it's the improvement we all expected.
21. $22.
So, snooker requires, so it's quite hard to pick out. But he should be over the line anyway with that black.
$30.
To take notice of. They can all see how good he is, how dangerous he is, how confident he is. He can only surely go further. Yeah, beautiful
38.
again. He's become one of the best long potters around, hasn't he?
Not doubting that at all. You know, he is such a good player. And of course, always was said that anyone that makes the century on debut at the Crucible is...
46.
It's good stuff. Yize, he's made steady progress. His first semi-final and 24 his first final. So the next step, I guess, is to win a tournament, and he's dangerous here in.
Great shot, wasn't it? If
59.
And you saw the cue right back as far as it would go on that.
966 that from Yize. It started with the long red. Of course, he was already 46 in front at that point. And he draws level with Barry Hawkins here at the Scottish Open, 1 each. We were here till the very end last night, 1:45. They very nearly got rewarded with the maximum. Up in Sencom just didn't land nicely from blue to pink. Missed the pink on 1-3-4.
Later on, as we see this shot missed by Yize, but he combines real tactical skills, and he showed them last night against Mark Selby, but then he goes on the all-out attack, and he's got all the shots. I mean, seems to be able to match players in all departments. He's a good one.
You can see Hawkins is very...
That could have been a lot worse because the Reds were slightly out of control when he missed the...
Foul, miss. Wize a 4. One.
Very close to. Yeah, not. Terrific recovery though. Still on one. Don't know if the black spot is. A little delicate cannon on the red below the black here. Must make sure the black drops though.
One.
Put some terrific balls into the middle pockets, doesn't he? That's another thing I think you'd describe him, if you're playing him, as a very dangerous player in that you can't be sure what he's going to. It can be quite unsettling to play someone like that.
9.
29 now, so there's a lot of work to do. But to get in those 3 events, you get a head start over a lot of other players.
Now, I think for the 3rd event, the Tour Championship, when it was 8 players, invariably you had to win something to appear in it. But when there's 12,
14.
An ultra-consistent player who doesn't win anything could still find their way in there.
Yeah, and of course it's 100,000 for the winner this weekend here in Edinburgh.
15. Two. Wait. $30.
Lovely shot, stun run through from. Now that's 2 reds below that. Where he is now could still be there. I'm not sure about that shot. I mean, again, for his sake, I'd like to think it would go in from this position. Oh, well done.
46.
Well recovered. Closing in on the frame.
54.
Yeah. Well, these reds covering one another. This is a little twist here. The frame's not done yet.
No, if he could have got into the cue ball, maybe stunned
60.
that red away a little further, then he would have been on the other red, but he rolled it and If he's right behind it, no problem, but he isn't right behind it. However good a potter you are, that is never going to be an easy shot.
Wize, 60.
The frame lives on. Well, he won't mind the red being in play, but of course, if we were shot, that is so good. He wanted to get the keyboard back out of harm's way because he knew that the counter-attack was on if he missed.
Eight.
Yeah, he's a deadly potter, all right, isn't he? And he's proven it again there. So should be over the line now. 3 snookers needed. This red to make sure.
9.
And Wize proving to be a handful for Barry Hawkins, who we know is in great form at the moment.
$15. 16. 21. 23. Foul.
Well, the frame is well and truly done, of course, and Wize has won it. So for the first time he's in front, and as I say, he's proving to be a real handful here for Hawkins, whom he leads 2-1. Well, he was imploring that red to...
One.
They're playing it firsthand what they can do, so he'll know that he's got to brush up on everything, really. He's got to keep him out,
8.
he's got to score when he's in, all the things you have to do. Doesn't want to get involved in a potting match against someone like Wize, I don't
9.
think. But they'll make him think, keep him out for long periods.
Barry Hawkins, 13.
Yeah, not easy. I thought he'd get it, mind you. I put the commentator's curse on him, but
1.
it's absolutely tailor-made for the sort of mid-range straight shots, the way he hits the ball.
Eight.
Into his game, I think. Stroking the pots into the pocket.
$13. 19.
Pin full on. Yeah, that's the half ball problem he had. You see, the Reds didn't really go anywhere.
Wize 24.
No.
Seven. Chips.
The black does pot. Well, I get the feeling from that
14.
shot it must do. Now this is a big shot, and it was perfectly played to get on.
$22.
That's a good shot. It stops in time. This is where you've got to be so careful against Wize. Don't leave him anything at range, even on these little safety shots.
Barry Hawkins 24.
Well, it was a hard fought 24, wasn't it? Gets him 13.
One.
Very good. Gives him a distinct advantage.
Barry Hawkins 1.
Well, got to hit a red first. That's the biggest issue.
Foul and a miss. Barry
He's going to
Hawkins
go back,
6.
I'm sure. I can't think that Hawkins would want to risk playing.
Hawkins then 20 in front. Looking to level this match at 2-2.
Ollie.
Well, in the end, the snooker was important. It earned
Barry
Hawkins the
Hawkins,
chance
26,
that he
I'm
takes. Wize nods his head, and we're all square. Bit of a battle here in Edinburgh this afternoon, and they're all level at 2 each. Of course, Hawkins knocked out John Higgins last night.
One.
Well, a little bit of guesswork, I think, but he stuck in the reds. I'm not sure he played it quite like that. I'm sure he had a... making sure of the pot, but he also...
One.
Well, you saw there are actually 6 Chinese players in the last 16 at the start of the day.
9. 17.
It's a terrific chance. He doesn't touch a red. He's extremely close to one.
25.
Yeah, didn't quite know how to play it.
30.
Didn't get any applause. It was a terrific shot, though. Superb shot. He's got long fingers out. That's all he could do. So he's in a strong position, but not a certainty.
Wize 42.
Made a nice noise, that, didn't it? Certainly if you're a Yize fan.
1.
Played it well. Well, that should be the frame now, and he's played a good frame here, and things have not necessarily run for him. Frames like this might not have always won, Wize.
And also gaining more and more experience, you know, playing big matches in big venues. Seems to relish it, and that's so important, because I get the feeling he's going to be the way Wize played. Because we commentated, didn't we, on the final session, and we thought 7-1, Robertson so used to winning, you know, it's not going to last long. There's talks of potentially have forced the decider then, who knows. Won a lot of friends, I think, that week. But it's not there. Well, I say that. It might be, you know. You've got every chance, this. Wow.
19.
Well, it ends the frame. The ball, when it hits a couple of jaws and goes up and down, eventually went in there.
27.
I don't think anything today. Various knuckles and eventually hit the yellow. Anyway, this frame is done. So Hawkins, again, he's going to have to dig in to try and level up. Brown doesn't go in, but a good frame there, and he's one away from a place in the quarterfinals of the Scottish Open. He leads Barry Hawkins here in Edinburgh 3.
Amazingly good pot. Another good one. He deserves to be on something.
Six.
It's come out of nothing.
12.
So we might be going all the way, because he's not not got all the balls
27.
perfectly, but he's going along nicely.
$33.
Well, that came as a surprise, although it
Barry
doesn't appear
Hawkins.
that he's...
The decider.
The worry for
Barry
Hawkins is he
Hawkins,
chips... Just a few... But from nowhere, a chance, a real chance for Wize.
Yeah, he was looking good there. 42-0, third chance of the.
$12.
It's a little bit close for comfort. The idea was good, I think. And that's all right as well. That's another red in play.
20. $24.
No, he'd be annoyed.
He's back in the frame, 12 points in it.
Wize, 30.
Well, that's not the best shot he's ever played.
Red that's... He cannons into that bottom red here. Now he could have pushed that red down the table, left the cue ball where the red is. Instead he took a risk play. He'll still be very costly. Wize missed a trick. He took
One.
that red out and... Very bold shot, but he's just slightly overrun it, and he will need both reds.
6. $7.
Could be that it's his last shot. He...
13.
Very good.
It's like a decider. 32 in front with 27 on. Taken a bit of winning this frame, but of course it was Brissell that won that one earlier.
22.
To survive these close matches, and as I say, he did 2 in
25.
York. 2 deciders along the way. He's already won.
Just had a bit of a lapse, didn't he, in this frame? When he
29.
got himself in front, he missed a couple of balls, especially which could have been the end for him. But we've got a decider, and it's going to be an interesting
34. 40.
Yeah, all on one last frame here as Hawkins flukes the black.
Frame, Barry Hawkins.
As I say, it took a bit of winning, but he's got it on the board. 3-3, all on one last frame. They've never played each other before. There's nothing to go on in that score. Hawkins has won a few close ones of late. Well, that's sort of opened the Reds up, looking for a good cue ball. Close to this ball cushion. Well, looks like he's got the cue ball very much out of danger. That's a terrific shot.
Brilliant. He hasn't in first.
Running in this decider.
Four.
As it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ring here in Edinburgh.
well, Barry played that containing shot, cue ball at this.
Well, didn't seem to be.
$28. $36.
Now,
42.
he's got the. And that's the problem. You don't catch it fully. You don't. No, I don't think I'll be moving these two reds on the left. They're close together and they're not.
Wize, 47.
I think the idea was good.
Yeah, funny enough, his long game, which is usually so good, hasn't been that great in the match, but that was an absolute chance to get this one. Results. And he's putting in the performances.
7.
Safety, skills, tactical. And yet he's kind of matched him. Hawkins
14.
knows in this match.
$15.
Yeah. He'd like another red, though, wouldn't he? It's one snooker.
I'm in behind the pink, so that's a good thing.
Wize, 22.
So that becomes two snookers.
Foul. Wize, 4.
He's not up against a cushion. When he can pop one at medium or long range, he's absolutely devastating.
For it against Neil Robertson. And here he is in another Home Nations event, looking good for a quarter-final spot against Chris Wakelin. Well, he's kind of given him the chance to certainly get rid of a few.
Just a little bit more to do.
1.
So it is two snookers. He's Probably feeling a little bit as if it's not going to happen after the way the match is.
9. 17.
6 penalty points somehow.
$25.
Looks like he's probably done enough now, and a bit of anxiety just getting that final additional pot knocked in. But again, Hawkins could have done better with that effort. Very close to the right corner, but it still wasn't really an option to pot it for Wize. Slight risk there, hitting it at that pace. He could have knocked the black in on a very unlucky day. Really liked it.
Sounds simple, but of course it's not. Four, 3. Be relieved, I think, that finished when it did. It was getting maybe a bit sticky.